howdy fam, Lord bless, is Easter really pagan? No, I said,
oh yeah, that was another bone to pick. Speaking of which, Easter is not a pagan holiday. It's based on Passover.
It's not a pagan holiday, but they borrowed some pagan concepts, including the very name of Easter is a pagan concept. But it doesn't matter. Why do Christians get so wrapped up in this? Yes, we took that pagan shit. We buried Christ in it. We said, fuck you, pagans. That's cool.
No, that's not
that's
quite
awesome.
What we said, but I mean, no, but
oh my God, we did that to Iran and made Iran the new place, like the new fucking Rome. That'd be funny. Do it.
All right. I get it. But here's
yes, plant the cross, climb up on it, and pee on the Persians. Fuck them, Steve. Christianity's cool. Why do we care if it was a pagan thing? Oh, Christmas trees are pagan. Yeah, pagans are stupid. Christmas trees are awesome. You know why? What do they have to do with Jesus? I don't care. He's never seen a coniferous tree in his life. He hasn't seen that. Does he do pine trees in Jerusalem? Oh yeah. It's a blue fir tree. No, that's in Vermont. That's not in Israel. What are we talking about? But you know why it's funny? Because we took it from someone, and we probably took it from someone over blood and death and a crusade and something awesome from some Middle Ages guy who's like, you know what? Fuck these guys. That's great. I don't know why Christians are so bothered by, we took a pagan concept and that's cool.
Shit. You're ranting and you're overwhelming me with things I want to agree and disagree with all at the same time. And I agree with you that Christians tend to be like, there's some people that want to defend things that are just not counterfactual. Like a Christmas tree was a pagan concept that was borrowed, right? But I try to explain that the Catholic Church, when it would come into a society, would, if it didn't conflict with Christianity, they would adopt, and it was beautiful, they would adopt it and say, this beauty is a reflection of God, and this isn't conflicting with Christian theology, so we will adopt it and celebrate it. It's part of your culture. This can be part of, you can be Christian and have a tree. That's a celebration of people and beauty and world.
Okay, what I said was the funny version of what you said to me. Again, no one else.
I'm not funny. You're funny. I'm not funny. I'm just
of course. You go into a culture that they have no concept of the Christian God, right? Like you go into these Central American tribal cultures. And how do I explain God to them? I don't know. We got to relate it through these things. So you adopt some things that are there. And when I say they took it over,
the human sacrifice of the pyramid and the cutting out the cards, that's not Christian. Let's delete that. But the thing where you rattle the rattle and jump around and dance around a pole, okay, that's cool. That doesn't ever conflict. So you can make that part. That's fine. We celebrate. It's beautiful, right?
Again, I if I'm not mistaken, Easter is based somewhat off of a pagan goddess that is like it's like an adaptation of Asherah. Right. And
they have to define what you're talking about when you're trying to say.
I don't remember, Steve, but it's not important, though. Because it wasn't that one. OK, well, listen, it was one pagan female goddess, has a name very similar and a celebration very similar to the name Easter. That's where it comes from.
I see what you mean.
It's because Christians come
when I think of Easter, I think of the resurrection, the crucifixion,
why?
Resurrection.
But what does the word Easter, which means it's Easter than here, unless you're talking about a name. Like, what does that have to do with the resurrection? Nothing. There's no Jewish word, there's no Greek word, and there's no English word that makes Easter related to the resurrection. There's only context. But Easter is a thing where here's what they did, Steve. They went into a culture and they said, we want to explain this thing that Christ did that was really, really important at this time. Hey, they already have a celebration here. What we do is we explain how this celebration is the better version of that celebration with the correct God, the correct Savior, the correct motivations. This is gross. What you guys are doing is gross. You're worshiping a false thing. It requires baby sacrifice. What are you, a Democrat? But if you come over here like a good Republican, here is Christ. Here is truth. Here is God's hand in this. And it's the same thing. And it follows Passover. So we even appease the bankers. So you're sitting there going, look, they're going to lend us money. You're going to be good over here because you're with God, and you're going to ignore the people over here who are bad because they're Democrats. And now we have this thing. co-opting a holiday does not matter. And Christians, if you bring it up to them, they're like, no, it's real. It's like, yeah, it doesn't make it not real. You get it
from both sides, though. You get it.
If you get it from both sides, you're a woman. No, wait, what?
No, you see, we're getting into authentic Nick territory. See, this is good stuff right here. We're getting into like old school Nick ranting and raving. I agree with you on some points on that, but
there it is. Oster, but you're getting it from both sides. Ostre. Oster was, it's pronounced Easter, I believe, was the pagan goddess of fertility. Which again, Asherah is the pagan goddess of fertility for females, and fertility for the harvest, for growth. They put up Asherah poles. Baal was different. They would sacrifice babies to Baal that they created through Asherah. But yeah, Oster, that's where they got the name. Why do we care where they got the name? That doesn't make it invalid. Right. Why are we doing this? Anyway.
Yeah, well, because people want to attack the church, which to me is part of the validity of its truth, because they don't want to attack. You don't hear people ranting and raving about how Buddhism is wrong. You know,
Buddhism's wrong. Oh my God, you want to be resurrected as a fucking cricket? What a shitty way. Sorry, go ahead. Also, Buddhists are fat. Have you ever met a non-fat Buddhist?
This is starting to roll. This is we're getting into the Nick zone.
You want me to make fun of religions? I'll do it all day. Buddhists are all fat. There we go. Fatsos sitting around not eating bugs or whatever.